Good morning everybody and welcome to today's video blog. Sorry it's been a while since we put one of these out there. We've been super busy with the mentor program and just really haven't found the time to consciously go onto camera and put something together for you all. And I know that's not a good enough excuse, so we will certainly try to do better in the weeks and months ahead. Today what we're going to do, obviously you can see that I'm not in London today, I'm at home in my home office. I've been trading this morning. So really I'm just going to take you through the day here, show you what I do on a day-by-day basis. It's now 10:30 in the morning, so I've had a couple of hours trading there. Some really nice setups, none on the DAX Sniper unfortunately. The market did it dropped a little bit and then it rallied a little bit, but none of the price action was really what I was looking for to be able to get into the trade. But having said that, there were a couple of trades that I did take this morning based on some breakouts and just intraday breakouts and things like that. So what I thought it might be nice to do is really to take you through those trades, to walk you through them and just see if you can get a few ideas there, something that you can put or build into your own trading system. Because a lot of the time it's not necessarily that you want to take someone's exact strategy or something like that. I still read a lot of trading books. I'm sort of like a bit addicted, obsessed with the markets you could say, but I'm not reading trading books looking for strategies or things like that, because I like the strategies that I put together myself. Oftentimes when I'm reading trading books, you're just looking for little nuggets of information, just little things that you can either build into your approach, or maybe build into your trading system, but you're not looking for exact systems. So as I said, so hopefully or potentially this isn't going to be something that's going to replace the way that you actually trade. But you might find something in here that helps with your trading, that helps take you on to the next level. So looking at the charts here, what we've got, if I just, let me start recording the screen, because if you try and take a look at the charts from the camera there, you're probably not going to like it and you won't see very much. So let's start recording the screen here. So what we've got here, first of all, if we take a look at the range charts, and this is primarily where we like to at least start our days looking at, where we like to trade from. This is a DAX Sniper system, so it's one of the primary systems that we use for trading the DAX. But if you take a look at the price action here, yes, the market dropped off a cliff this morning. It was looking really positive at that point in time. At that moment, I wanted to be short. I posted that in the Facebook group that we're looking for short opportunities. Unfortunately, we didn't get the entry for the short, so there wasn't really anything there that there wasn't the sort of pullback or the sort of price action that would allow us to take that short. So we kind of opted not to take that. Then the market started to break to the upside, and what I posted was that if the market can stay below this level here, so around the 9600 level, which is this previous low here, so we've got a structure level right there at that level. If the market could hold below that level there, then we'd still be looking for a short. However, if it couldn't, then we'll be looking for long opportunities. And one of the things that I like to do, one of the trades that I like to take, if I just put this back here, is I like to take, breakouts of intraday levels. Now, unfortunately, this isn't the sort of thing that you can necessarily teach, or you can't teach it very quickly anyway, because it takes a degree of understanding how the markets work, a bit of screen time, watching the markets and things like that, because it's not a sort of a set and forget system, if you like. It's a lot more discretionary. You have to read the markets, read the build up of the energy, and kind of look to trade in the direction that, as I said, the energy is building up in the markets. And a lot of the time that's not going to be just taking a breakout because there's a breakout there. That's where so many people go wrong. You want to look to see what the market is telling you. What's the story of the market? And then based on that, then you look to take your trade. So for example, we took two trades this morning. Okay, the first one was this one here. So the market had broken down, as I showed you on the previous chart. It then failed to get any lower than that point there. And at that moment in time, I'm sitting there thinking, well, if the market can hold below 9600, it's been a big down move there. We've got a lot of momentum. If it can hold below 9600, we're probably still okay. All right, so then we wait for the market and it retraces back up to the 9600 level, as you can see there. So 96.00, that's where it retraces back up to. It then starts to sell off. And I'm thinking at that point in time, okay, still looking good. We still could potentially get a short opportunity here. Then the market starts to turn around. And when it starts to turn around, I'm thinking, well, the market's had one go at the 9600 level. Okay, it hasn't managed to break through it. All right, but if the market comes back up here again, we've not only got a situation where it's broken beneath these lows here, then we've got consolidation at these lows here. The market then comes back up to that level, to that key structure level, it tests it, and I'm thinking to myself, well, if it tests it again, I'm going to stick a toe in there. I want to get long because oftentimes I see that this is sort of like a trend change. Now, as I say, it's not, you don't take every single breakout because you have to read what the market is telling you. You have to look at the energy of the market. And for me, for this point here, the market was telling me that it can't go any lower. Now, if it can't go any lower, which way is it going to go? It has to go higher, right? I mean, yes, you're going to say, well, potentially it could go sideways, and absolutely it could go sideways. But if it goes sideways, you know, we don't win anything, we don't lose anything. That's absolutely fine. In terms of a move, a directional move, it's either going to break lower or it's going to break higher. You know, that's the only two directions the markets can go. And at this point in time here, when the market approached this level, and then let's zoom in there a little bit more. When the market approached this level here, you can see it gave it another attempt, it pulled away, and then it started to trade back towards that level. At that moment in time, that told me that the market wanted to go higher. So I'm happy to take a breakout of this sort of level here because from my perspective, it looks like there's going to be a bunch of stops that will be sort of clustered beyond that level there. So I think that those stop orders will get triggered and that will give us the momentum to push in the opposite direction. So that's where I got involved in the initial trade there. The market broke through that level, got in there at 9600, eventually got out at 9620 for a nice 20-point move there. Then the market started to pull back somewhat. I didn't get involved in this price action here. The market then gave us another momentum move to the upside. Then it broke back down below. And this is what I mean by energy and not taking every single breakout that occurs. At this point in time, you know, the market hasn't said to us that it wants to go any lower. This is just a pullback, right? So looking at this here, if you had have taken a sell from this level, you would have been wrong to do it. It doesn't make any sense because you don't have a reversal type of price action. You don't have sort of like exhaustion patterns taking place at this level here. Rather, what I would be looking to take here is a long, and that's what we did. So when the market broke below this level, I was saying to myself, if the market fails to get below that level there, that's telling me that there's still some buyers in the market and it still wants to go higher. So if it fails to get below that level, that's one clue. Then if the market then breaks out above this highs here at 96.30, that's another clue that the markets want to go higher. And based on that, I'm going to take a breakout to the upside. We'll have our stop somewhere below the lows there. So if the markets really do turn around and take us out, then we'll get out there for a little bit of loss. You know, we won't have won anything. We won't have lost too much either because obviously we made the money earlier on. And then we get into this trade and I get in there at 96.30 and eventually get out at about 96.47. So I didn't trade it all the way up to the top here, but I don't need to do that. And that actually, that brings up another very important point about catching all of the moves. I had an email the other day from a member of ours who was basically saying they attended one of our live sessions and was basically saying that he was a little bit disappointed with that live session because he saw the markets move, 50 points in one direction and 100 points in another direction on that particular morning. And we didn't get into a trade. And we were doing the live session and we were trading the sniper system. I don't want to confuse our members with the, various different systems. When you're new to trading and everything and you're just trying to focus on one thing, often that can serve just to confuse things. So we were just trading the sniper system and that has certain rules with it. And based on those rules, we didn't get any particular setup, all right? And yes, the market moved a long way, but what we did was that we didn't lose any money. But the point is that there's a lot of traders out there that they look at that and they see that the market's moved, 100 points in one direction, but they don't really take into account the manner in which the market has moved from one point to another. And that's really, really important, because if you just see a particular move and think, I'm going to buy the lows and sell the highs, that's really unrealistic. You may be able to do that once or twice because you're lucky, but it's not something that you can build a trading system around. And that's why you need to really kind of, stay disciplined, stay focused, and, be patient with your trades. But I'll come back to you and I'll talk to you about that a little bit later, because in about 10 minutes time, I've got a webinar that I have to do for FX Street. So as much as I'd love to stay in chat right now, we'll have to pick this up in a little while. I hope you enjoyed watching some of that stuff there. Looking at the way that we trade breakouts and things like that. It's very, very effective. But that won't be the last of it. We'll show you way more of that as we progress through the months and weeks ahead. But as I said, I have a webinar that I need to attend to in just a few minutes. So we'll come back and we'll cover that topic again a little bit later on this afternoon. Okay? So take care now, and I'll speak to you soon. So I want to pick up on the conversations that we were having earlier about trying to get in on every single move. I've spoken to a lot of traders in the past, and particularly a lot of new traders, and what they do is they come to the markets and they look at a move and they see that perhaps it goes 100 pips from the high to the low, and they start trying to figure out ways that they can get in on those particular moves, when the truth is it's actually quite unrealistic to think that you're going to get the entire move, if any of it. Ultimately, trading is about waiting for the right opportunities. And sometimes, even if there's a move in the market, you may not get the opportunity to enter that market because either the market might fly away without you being on it, or perhaps the market sort of grinds in a direction and doesn't really give you the momentum or the setup that you need to get involved in that particular trade. And we had this the other week where someone was in on one of the live trading sessions, and we were trading the DAX. And during that particular live trading sessions, I took 2 trades. I came out of the trades relatively quickly, okay, because I'm somebody that tries, when I'm day trading, I'm looking for quick moves, quick profits. I'm not looking to hold a trade forever and ever and ever. I just want to be in and out and recycle my money over and over again. That's my approach to the markets. But anyway, so we took a couple of trades there. Nothing, fantastic happened. But what the markets did is that they sort of ground higher from the early part of the session, and then for the later part of the session, they ground sort of lower. But they didn't move with momentum. There wasn't any opportunity there from the system that we were trading on that live sessions perspective. There wasn't any particular entry that we could have taken, because the entries that we look at for the DAX sniper, which is what we were trading at the time, was we look for momentum in a particular direction, then we look for a pullback, and then we look to get in on that pullback. And similarly, like this morning, there wasn't an opportunity to take that type of a trade. I opted in the end this morning to go for some breakout trades. And they pay quite well, but in the live trading session, we try not to confuse people and try not to give them too many different things to do at once, because when you're new to trading, it can be quite tough to be focusing on all of those things at the same time. So anyway, so this person then commented on the fact that, well, the markets have moved 100 points and you didn't get involved in any of that movement. What's wrong with your system? And I was trying to explain to this person that there's nothing wrong with this system. That's just trading. Sometimes there are opportunities to get into the market. Sometimes you get many opportunities to get involved in a trade. And then other times the markets move, but they move without you for one reason or another. And as a trader, in order to be able to take the step to the next level, in order to be, successful for the long run and to be consistent in your approach, you have to learn to be patient, to be disciplined. You have to be able to watch the market move off in a direction that perhaps you thought the market was going to move in, but you didn't get involved in that particular movement because the trades didn't fulfill, the criteria that you need to get into a trade. You can't be annoyed with that. You have to be okay with that. Once you can get to that point, then you're making the right steps towards being a successful trader. But for as long as you look at those movements and then you go back to the markets and you say, well, I wasn't involved in this trade today, and therefore I'm going to change my system so that the next time that sort of move occurs, I'm going to be involved in it. And you do that without any sort of back testing or anything like that, then all you're doing is you're constantly in this cycle where you're trading yesterday's trades. You know, you're trading the movements that have just happened, and you're not really focusing on your system itself, and you're always looking to find the best setup that would have worked for today's trades or yesterday's trades, as opposed to just saying, I'm happy with this setup. It won't get me involved in every single trade. I accept that, but it's high probability, and it will get me involved in the majority of the trades, and it will make me money, which is the most important thing. You see, that's another issue that a lot of retail traders have, is that, you know, yes, they want to be involved at the top and the bottom, but actually what they're saying is that they want to be involved in everything that moves, because, you know, they feel like if they're not in the markets, they're not making any money, or they're not doing the quote-unquote job of a trader. And ultimately, the job of the trader is to make money. It's not to entertain yourselves. And a lot of the people that are new to the markets, they just want to be in everything that moves, and they're not worried whether or not it makes them any money. They're just bothered with trying to, you know, entertain themselves, try and be in the markets, and, you know, and call themselves a trader. They're playing trader, as I like to say, as opposed to actually doing it. So, you know, that's ultimately all I wanted to say for this part here. I didn't really. It is very important, and I think it's something that you should all pay attention to, because if you're new to trading in particular, you need to focus on the fact that you're looking to make money. You're not, you know, this isn't the horse races, it's not a casino or anything like that. You're not looking to entertain yourselves. It's a serious business, and the sooner you can start to treat it like that, the sooner obviously you can take that step towards professional trading, and you can start achieving your goals and start achieving all of your, you know, all of your trading dreams, you know, whether it be to quit your job, whether it be to supplement your income, whatever it is that you wanted to do when you first came to trading, you will be able to do that. But you need to get out of that rookie mindset and move on to the next level, you know. So anyway, that's enough of me. That's you know, I'll get off of my soapbox right now. I hope you enjoyed this video blog right here. It's now 6 o'clock in the evening. It's been a good day's trading. Obviously, we had that stuff in the morning that I took you through. Then I had a webinar with FX Street where we did some live analysis. We took 2 trades on that live analysis session there. Both of them worked out quite well. They don't all work out, okay? There are obviously losses, but we just had a really good day today. So I'm glad you were here. I'm glad you were able to share it with me, and I look forward to speaking to you on the next video blog. So take care now, and good trading.